Hey, I'm going to show you how I use folder tracks in Pro Tools and why I love folder tracks in Pro Tools. So the old way to bus audio together, if you had, let's say you had 8 drum channels like I do here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, stereo overheads, etc., and you wanted to bus the drums together, and you wanted to I have this nice Sheps omni-channel plugin here that I'm doing some saturation and EQ and compression and all these fun things. So the old way to do this, the only way, as far as I know, the main way to do this was make yourself an aux track. And so you'd make an aux track, you'd go stereo, you'd say aux input, you would call it drums. And so here's our drum aux, and we would output all of the drums here to this drums track, right? Okay, the cool thing about folders is there's 2 types of folders. One folder is a basic folder that's basically just like a office folder, like a manila kind of thing you'd put in a filing cabinet. It doesn't really do much. It just lets you collapse tracks kind of like this. So here's all my guitars. And now I can't see all my guitars. But to take it one step farther, we can make what's called a routing folder, which allows us to route tracks through that folder and process them just like it was an aux. So let's say I have over here, let's say I have a bunch of audio tracks here, and I want to bust these all together and process them. The thing I love about folders is we can go Command-Shift-Alt-N, and we can say all the selected tracks moved to a new folder. We can say routing folder, and let's just call this drum folder test, and we can say route tracks to new folder. So now instead of us having to click through or select through which aux instrument or aux input that we wanted to route these tracks to, we can say create, and you can see Pro Tools did it all for us. You can see all these tracks are routed to the folder, and you can see I've done that over here with my drums. So if I solo my drums, now we just hear the drums. And if I want to process my drums, here's my drum bus. I can process all my drums together. So folders let us do bus processing and submixing, but they also let us use them as folders like you would expect. So we can say, all right, I don't want to see all my drums anymore. I just want this compacted view. And now look at this beautiful, clean workflow I have. I use a control surface when I mix live, so I'm able to have my control surface here, and I can have my bass, my drums, my guitars, keys, and all 3 of my vocals right where I want them at a moment's notice. So it works out really well. Hope that helped explain folders for you. I use Auxes too. Auxes are great. I use them for all my mix bus and all my final sends and effects, obviously, and all the things. But for my actual individual channel submixing and groupings, folders are great.